Dawway, or Dawway Deep Seaport Mega Project, is situated in the southwestern Tanin Taril or Tenasserim region of Myanmar. Its pristine and tranquil coastal ambience has never been environmentally attractive to the government of Myanmar as much as the vision of economic development. The economic development has been envisioned for decades, but the poverty-stricken Burma alone could not carry out such a huge project. So the first step towards mutual cooperation with the Kingdom of Thailand began late last year. On 2nd November 2010, Myanmar Port Authority and Italian-Thai Development of Thailand signed the framework agreement granting the ITD 75 years land lease period for the Dawway project, with an associated deep sea port, industrial estate, trans-border corridor link, and supporting infrastructure. The mega project covers 250 kilometers along the coastline. Another 40-year concession was granted for light industries like garment factories and tourism. Dawway has since been esteemed to be a regional cooperation and logistic hub, opening the gateway of Indochina into the Eurosphere. The Memorandum of Understanding agreed between the two states emerged out of the golden opportunity when Myanmar was going to have an election, while Thailand had lessened down its political tone with the junta. The ambience was already set out for business-oriented coordination. The rhythm of optimism was carried on through to January and February of 2011. The New York Times stated in the first half of the year that this is an industrial project that could change Myanmar. Ideally, based on geostrategic reasons, the project is a key shortcut between Europe and Indochina. Companies in Thailand and the fast-growing economies of Vietnam and Cambodia could save fuel and time by bypassing the long journey through the Strait of Malacca and detour of several thousand kilometers. Such companies planning to invest in a seaport complex are PTT, Siam Cement Group, and Loxley. The oldest and biggest trading conglomerate like Loxley was initially interested in the power transmission lines and oil gas terminal projects to be invested in Dawway. Amidst political easiness, especially when Aung San Suu Kyi tasted a glimpse of freedom after general election, Dawway's special economic zone became vivid and even had its own law and regulations. The law promises tax break for investing companies, fast tracking of work and trade permits, and a pledge from the Myanmar authorities not to nationalize any industry or project established in the Dawway SEZ. Still, the project image has been splendidly propelling for not just Thai and ASEAN, but also for foreign investors. Japanese Nippon Steel was among the latter, but yet to be materialized. The optimistic momentum gained its top cherry spot when the construction of Bang Yai Kanchanaburi interchange motorway was completed by the Thailand's Ministry of Transport. It indicated a very progressive step towards the ambitious ASEAN connectivity emerged from the project. Managing Director of the Dawway project from the ITD gives us a hint.
Well, to start with, the particular project is an Asean connectivity. So it enhances economic corridors, it enriches profit, prosperity, and at the same time, it helps employment, health technology transfer. Practically, we have already quantified the impacts in terms of values, quite clear.
Entering the mid-year, this hot, decade-long project has gradually raised awareness and concern relating to side effects. Thus, environmental and social issues top the agenda. In the debate on the pros and cons of the Dawway mega project, questions have been raised as to whether how the project and the two governments are responsible for the impact upon the Burmese people and their community on the area. The debate climbed to its contentious point when the road link construction continued from Kanchanaburi passing through the Phú Namron border into Dawway. Skeptics pointed out in May that under Myanmar's military-backed rule, residents in the area have little choice but to lose their land, and the largest economic benefits will go as mainly to the bureaucratic body of Myanmar and the well-off private sectors of Thailand. Not only just that, the strong sense of opposition has evidently come out quite clear from the anti-Burmese Karen nationals. Myanmar's longest-standing ethnic minority militia, the Karen National Liberation Army, has forced a halt to the construction of a 160-kilometer roadway. The blockage comes amid recently intensified fighting between government forces and insurgent groups. According to the Karen News, an unnamed KNLA commander said the Karen villages have been adversely affected by the road and facilities being built. The Karen's fierce stance has triggered the public and media to investigate furthermore about the reality of the impact upon the affected people. Dawway has long been an isolated, unspoiled territory of the local community where sustainable livelihood is retained. All lives had been normal until the Dawway investment inaugurated. When a big investment reaps too much benefit and ignores other consequences, antagonistic sentiment will prevail. Because of the project, thousands of villagers would be relocated, but to where? In August, the morale of Dawway project was contemplated. A Burmese environmental researcher stood up by saying the relocation was involuntary. No alternative housing was taken into action yet. They have even started cutting down trees for the road construction, but they haven't decided how much compensation is for one tree. Each of the trees is approximately 100 years old. When October came, the properties of a local community have already been confiscated. For the Dawway natives, sustainable fishing and farming of the coastline, fresh water and forest have long provided local people with self-sufficient livelihood. As long as their sea survives freely, their lives are free and secure. But the deep sea port and industrial factories will severely limit the customary fishing rights of the indigenous people in the future. The Dawway Special Economic Zone law states that the developer or investor shall bear the expenses of paying compensation. However, so far, there has been no clear detailed procedure regarding compensation to the local people affected by the project. One academic spearhead has stated that Thailand is intended to transfer the dirty business with high risks of damaging the society and environment into Burma to avoid the same fate caused by Maptaput industrial estate. In November, the ITD has reiterated that the relocation plan is being assessed and the public values and social responsibility are still the major concern in addressing the impact. The construction of the industrial zone, including the huge 10,000 megawatts coal-fired power plant, will begin in 2012. Whereas the dispute on the local impact has not been settled, certainly the villagers must have the opportunity to discuss the harmful effects industrial factory waste will have on the local environment and the public health of local communities. Compromise and unanimity are to bridge the gap between the civilian government and the ethnic minorities of Myanmar. Dawway belongs to Myanmar people, not the Thais. At the end of the road, Dawway Deep Sea Port Project, to be or not to be, will solely become the Burmese affair. พัชสุรางค์ เดชา พุทธรังสี ASEAN TV